This is the Princess X95, the first in Princess's new X-Class range, the wide-body Superfly design, and takes the yard in a very different direction for a boat of this size. And it's clearly proved popular because so far, considering it was launched in 2019, they've delivered 15 of these. So the big focus on interior volume has clearly proved very popular in the market. Anyway, we've got full access today, so let's go on board and have a closer look. Now clearly the exterior styling is very different to what we're used to from Princess, but it's also different under the waterline. As you can see down here, it has a small wave piercing section, and that is all in the name of efficiency. And considering that this has very similar dimensions to the yard's own 30 metre, it actually needs 1400 horsepower less to achieve the same top speed. And at 16 knots, this is using 20% less engine power than the M-Class, and that is all down to the efficiency of the hull. Now the top speed is just shy of 24 knots, cruising speed is 18.5 knots, and at that speed you've got a range of about 450 nautical miles, but if you drop it back to 10.6 knots, the range rockets to over 2,100 nautical miles. Now this boat was launched in 2019, but they've already delivered 15 boats, which I think shows how popular this design has been, this Superfly wide-body design with a real focus on interior volume. But even though it's a semi-custom yacht, built on a production line, so to speak, it also has a lot of personalisation options, and this boat is a really good example of that. So let's get going and get a closer look. You can't miss this opaque Mari transformer back here. Obviously it works as the tender lift. This is a Williams 445. You can have a Williams 505 that will fit on this platform. And as you can see, if you want to retrieve the tender, obviously it drops down so it begins to float off, but then the whole thing swings backwards. This section here drops down to go flush, and then the tender just sits there up on the bathing platform. And once you clear the tender off, you can see the steps here. This is your way in and out of the water, but it also raises up to the same angle that it is down at the moment, so it can be a raised platform to get on and off the boat. You can use it as a diving board when you're at anchor. It's a really versatile additional piece of kit. Expensive, but the functionality is absolutely superb. And you still get a huge fixed platform even when the transformer's in the water. So there's a few options that you can have back here at the transom. You can see this whole area is hinged. So this whole area lifts up, which means that you can either have a beach club down here, so that's got seating, and it's got a bar area that's completely open to this aft deck here. This owner has just gone for a massive storage space, just for chucking kit. You could also have this as a garage for a jet ski if you wanted. So, depending on how you're going to use the boat, you can really make that area your own, but it's, again, another versatile area of the boat. Head up into the cockpit. Really like the way that these rails are integrated just inside the fiberglass coaming here. Then you've got superb access to the mooring gear. Massive great fair lead, all beautiful stainless steel, huge great winch there so you can tighten the lines, and then you've got cleats fore and aft, and then cleats right down the bathing platform as well, so you can cross spring if you're in the Mediterranean. Really large overhang back here, so this cockpit is very well protected. Lots of floor space, lots and lots of deck space down here. You could have a proper bar here that you can stand behind with some bar stools. This is more of a servery, but again, it's one of those areas that is quite flexible. There's a sink here, bit of storage, bit more storage, and then you've got a cool box here, so you can easily grab drinks in this area without having to go forward to the galley. Enormous table with this section in the middle that moves out, so you can walk between the tables if you don't want to have the full table set up like that. And then you can just see a view down the starboard side deck. And down to port as well. And this is where you find access to the crew space. Go down this access door on the port hand side. Down these steps. A little bit narrow, but not too bad. And here's the crew space. So they've got a mess here with a little dinette. You've got a small galley. You could have a cooktop here as well if you wanted. This boat's just got a microwave, sink, a bit of cooling space underneath. Move across, you have bunk cabins. And over here you have the bathroom, which has got a separate shower cubicle. Hello. And you have another bathroom. Two bathrooms in this crew space, which is quite a nice bit of added privacy if you have got 4 crew down here. The tumble dryer behind this panel. Washing machine beneath this one. And then forward through this watertight door, the crew can get straight into the machinery space, where you find these 2 lovely big MAN V12 diesels of 1900 horsepower apiece. You see a generator down there, Dometic air conditioning. These are the hydraulics for the side power fin stabilizers. You see here this ladder leads up to a deck hatch, so that is direct access from the cockpit down to this machinery space if you need to get here in a hurry. So you've got freshwater wash down here, so if there's a spillage down here you can hose it out with fresh water. There's really good access to all sides of the engines, you can get around them really easily. Good access to the shafts as well, you can just see the shaft peeping out down there. Headroom is very good. I'm 6'1" and I can stand up fully, absolutely no problem. Got another generator over on that side. All really easy to get to, very clean, very well lit. It's a very well thought out engine space. We'll head back out, back up onto deck. I think we'll continue down this port side if I just close this access door. We head forward to see how high these railings are. They come up to just under my armpit. They're really tall. It feels very safe moving forward. Then up a few steps. I like how all the steps are down it as well. Really subtle, soft, indirect lighting. We're onto the foredeck, and you can drop straight down to this lovely area here, right forward in the bow. We've got the ground tackle, twin anchors on this one, and then this nice snug area here where you can get well protected. You're tucked away from the elements, really private. Yeah, nice protection from the bow combing here. That's a really nice place to come and hide away for a sundowner maybe. You've got obviously got twin cleats and then fair leads again. Really proper stuff. Lift this up. This is really good access to the chain locker. So you've got a ladder to get down into it, and then you can see the chains are really nicely separated. No chance of them getting entangled in anything, and very easy to get to them and get down into what is a really good storage space. You could store plenty of kit down there if you needed to. And on this side, yet more storage, again with an access ladder. But as you can see, drop lines down there, stow a few fenders down there, really well placed for crewing duties. Put those back down again. So if we go back up to the raised foredeck, this is now the top deck. We have this wonderful living space here. Big sun pad. This has actually got a pop-up backrest that pops up this way so you can face into the boat. The same that goes the other way. And I believe there is the option to have a hot tub up here if you want it. But this is just a really lovely socialising space forward of the wheelhouse here. And what's really nice about this deck is that it connects all the way back aft. to this Sundeck area. You get a bit of protection here from these side coamings, and then you're on the main aft Sundeck. And this is a lovely space, and it's very flexible. You really can sort of do what you want with the furniture. This is all freestanding on this boat, so obviously it can be moved around. Lovely sociable round table here. You can see there's a sunshade that pops out the back of this coaming, so you can get some shade over this area if you're having lunch here. Got these big units either side, which have got things like a sink in it, more cooling space, and there's the same on the other side, over on that side. Now, hull number one actually had a projector up here, so that the owner could sit and watch films and sport out here. Again, another good example of quite how flexible they are with the little additions you can make to really make the boat your own. But this is a wonderful space, and the key thing about it is how well it merges with this upper deck saloon. So of course you can close this all off and keep it climate controlled, so if it's a really hot day, you can have this all nice and cool and you can get in it and cool off. But of course these doors slide open, they're 3-part, they slide right across, and then this is just one massive living area. And this is the only bridge on this boat, the only helm, I should say. You can have wing stations and you can have an extra control in the cockpit, but in terms of driving, this is where you do it from. Got glass overhead, this is a louvered ceiling and then glass to bring down natural light. You have a pop-up television over on this side, obviously well placed for the seating over here to starboard. And this is likely to be a crude boat, so you can seal off the wheelhouse. You can see the sliding pocket doors here, so if you're on passage and the skipper just wants to get on with navigating the boat, they can close this off, and then this area can still be used comfortably by guests. And then this is the helm. You can see we've got the engine camera on here, really good view of the engine room just to do checks with the eye to make sure everything's as it should be. Got the radar up here, then you've got full control of all the boat systems from this screen. You can see this is actually showing the lighting, but if you go back home, as you can see, you've got absolutely everything under your fingertips here. You can see all areas of the boat, control things remotely, all your tankage, etc., all really nicely presented in the bonding software. And then we have navigation on this side. Twin throttles, of course, trim tabs. You have your controls over here for the bow and stern thruster, obviously your wheel, and then just a single, fully adjustable helm chair. But nice to have this area here to port so people can gather around the skipper and sit with a coffee. Nice elevated position. Be a nice place to sit in the morning if the boat's just cruising along at slow speed. And then you have an access door straight out onto deck from here as well. And I think what we'll do is we'll go back down to the main deck via the external staircase, because there is an internal staircase, but I think it's easy to see how that links from inside. So we'll head down here. And now we're in to the main saloon.
She did well to get it.
Again, like upstairs, 3-part sliding doors, so obviously they open right up. Now this is where the owner has put his mark on the layout a bit. So this would ordinarily be a sofa, but this owner wanted to have this unit here with storage, and you can see television pops up from there. This particular boat has got walnut floor with a glossy oak cabinetry. Of course, that is really up for grabs. Lots of options, and people can choose exactly what they want, really. Same with the upholstery. You could have leather, you can have this nice sort of soft warm cloth that you've got here, but again, there's a huge palette of textures and colours that you can choose from to really make the boat your own. Big round table like up on the flybridge deck on this boat, but it also expands out. You can see there's a seam there, and then it pulls out and it increases in size. There's a really nice sociable central dining space. You can have the sliding doors on both sides. This boat's only got them on the starboard side, and actually that's quite nice because look at the glazed area if you don't have the doors. Obviously the doors are lovely, but there's a lot of structure involved in them. This is just pure glass, and that is a lovely view. You can really see the effect here of cutting out the bulwarks. You see over on the X80 the bulwarks are solid. Here they're open, so from here you've got a great view down over the water. We don't really get the best effect inside a marina, but out at sea that would be absolutely lovely. You can see there's a central companionway down to the guest accommodation. We'll obviously go down there later on. But let's head to port now. We're into the galley. And I think for a boat with these dimensions even, this is a really impressive galley space. Lots and lots of floor space. Probably be crew using this most, but it's a nice place to work. You've got, you know, good natural light, you've got a good view out, direct access out to the decks, of course, so the crew can really easily serve the decks. This boat's actually got twin ovens, but they're a really good size, big induction cooking top, and really impressive cooling space as well. Big American style twin fridge, and then freezer drawers with cooling drawers, 4 of them underneath. And I like the way they've integrated this storage as well. It's really useful the way that comes out like that, all on soft close runners. And they've even down here, because this is where the staircase is, the heading of the staircase, they've even managed to make this into a bit of useful storage. So even on a boat this size, where there's plenty of space to play with, they are trying to maximise the storage options. Obviously you can close it off from the saloon with this pocket door here, and again crew can then use the side door to get in and out. So then if you come around to starboard, we'll go through to the master cabin, but I just want to point out another key feature is that you have the internal staircase. So this is how you get up to the helm and that top deck, just up here, and you're back up here in the pilot house. And I hope that gives you a good clear idea of how the boat fits together. We'll head back down the same staircase, which is really nicely integrated. I love the use of glass. I love the fact that the treads are sort of floating. They're only attached on this side. There's downlighting under them as well. So if you're going to have a staircase in here, make it attractive, and they have done that. So let's carry on to starboard, where you find the day heads. So this is the toilet for use in the day, so guests don't have to go down to the bowels of the boat to use the loo. They can just come in here. Fantastic view from this toilet as well. And then if we look on the starboard side, this is actually a really large cupboard specifically designed to hold the dining room chairs. So if you don't need that many chairs around the dining table, you've got a cupboard that you can put them in and just make a bit more space around the table. Now, one of the key options with this boat was that you could have this pretty spectacular main deck master cabin, or you can have what they call the country kitchen arrangement, where this becomes your galley. So you have a big central island, you have a comfortable wrap of seating and a table around this area. It's really sociable. It's obviously all open plan. It gives you about 60 foot of main deck space from the aft end to the forward end, but they've only built one boat with that option so far, and I think that's because this cabin is just so spectacular. Up here on the main deck, wonderful elevated views with these windows on both sides. Now you can have a window here. This particular boat's obviously got the bookcase option, but you can have a window so you can see forward. But interestingly, if you have this option, Princess actually fit a camera on the bow with a direct feed to this TV, so you can lie in bed and see out the front of the boat as you're going along, which is a nice feature. This feels very, very homely. It feels like a proper bedroom with the bookcase and the finish. It is a really lovely space. Huge bed, as you can imagine, easy to walk around. Headroom is absolutely huge. Got to be 6'5" easily. Headroom in this cabin. And then you have the ensuite here, with the toilet that side. His and hers sinks, and then the shower cubicle again with a wonderful view out. If you're having a shower there in a nice anchorage, that would be quite a place to start the day. Loads of storage dotted around, drawer storage on this side, and a huge set of hanging wardrobes here on the starboard side as you come in. Really, really impressive, spacious cabin. So that's the main deck. Let's head down and see the guest accommodation, shall we? And this central companionway, and we'll head straight forward to the forward VIP. Now, ordinarily, this cabin would actually start here, this is where the door would be, but this owner wanted a bigger hallway and a bigger ensuite. So Princess have adjusted things a little bit to give this cabin an even bigger bathroom, and it is a lovely, lovely size. Rain shower head in that cubicle, as is the same throughout. And then because of that move of the door, the floor space in here is just extraordinary. It feels so palatial and luxurious in here, just having this much space to move around. It's an absolutely lovely cabin, it really is. A mini walk-in wardrobe here. It's a nice touch. Storage dotted all the way around. Big bed that's easy to get into, you know, it's nice and flat, and then you get a step up into bed. It's a really nice size. We have another walk-in wardrobe. It's another addition by this owner. Clearly in need of lots of clothes space. A bureau here. And then we move back out and we'll go aft, where you find a twin cabin support. Big hanging wardrobe here. Obviously an ensuite. The television mounted behind the door. And keep going aft part of the staircase, we're into the midships full beam cabin. And again, on this particular boat, there's a huge focus on wardrobe space. Just look at that walk-in wardrobe, it is absolutely enormous. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And this is all hanging space. With a sort of perch, possible occasional berth if you wanted to use it like that, but really it's just a nice place to sort of perch. If you're putting on shoes, for example, it is just storage central in here. You've got a safe in this one as well, all auto illuminated when you pop the doors open. More storage at eye level. And then usually this is a separate toilet shower compartment, but this owner's just gone for full width. Massive shower in the middle, and then toilets at both ends, so you have proper twin bathrooms almost. They share a shower but have their own sinks and their own toilets. There's just one toilet and bidet on this side, the sink, and then the central huge shower compartment. That is an amazing size, and then rain shower head in the ceiling. And this is just a nice little chill out zone. Just to sit down and get away from it if you just want to relax in some peace and quiet. Right by the hull window as well. This is a lovely cabin, and obviously this is all bespoke, you know, this choice of lighting, that's the sort of thing that you can really make your mark on. It is beautifully executed, it really is. And this would normally be a washer dryer, but again, this is just storage on this boat. So that's the guest accommodation. We head up through that central staircase and we're back onto the main deck. So there you have it, that is the Princess X95. I do hope you enjoyed that tour. If you did, please give the video a like, and remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new video. I'm Jack Haines, and I'll see you on the next one.